Good morning, everyone. This is Whit from Brainstem Tutoring, and we are going over the level 3 hard difficulty of linear functions. I'm going in blind. I haven't looked at these questions ahead of time, so we'll see how I do. After I'm done recording, I'll check these answers too. Cool. So what do we know about linear functions? They're lines. What does that mean? Constant slope. They have y-intercepts and x-intercepts unless there are certain situations. When there's two lines, there can be no solutions, one solution, or infinite many solutions. There's y equals mx plus b, but there's also point slope form, stuff like that. So, economists modeled command q for a certain product as linear function with selling price p. So q of p. Demand was 2,000 units. 20,000 units when the selling price was 40. And the demand was 15,000 when the selling price was 60. Based off the model was the demand in units when the selling price is 55 units. Okay. System of equations. I'm using y equals mx plus b. And if I subtract these two, I will get 5,000 equals negative 20m. Because the b's will cancel out. All right, divide both sides by negative 20. 5,000 divided by negative 20. M equals negative 250. All right, plug that in to either of these. 20,000 equals negative 250 times 40 plus b. Let's solve for b. 20,000 plus 250 times 40, 30,000 is equal to b. All right, so now we know m and b. What is the demand when the selling price is this? And I get answer A. On to question 2. Sorry, my camera was messing up, so trying this again. Cost of renting a backhoe for up to 10 days is that much for the first day, and $135 for each additional day, which of the following equations gives the cost in dollars of renting the backhoe for X days where X is positive integer less than 10. Okay, without thinking too hard about this, here's the initial cost, and every day the slope goes up by that much. So I'm going C without thinking too hard about it. You know what? Just pause. The first day is when X equals. Oh man, I think we have to include that in the pricing. You know what I'm saying? So on day 1, let's say X equals 1, not X equals 0. So therefore, like if we were drawing this line, at day 1, we would already be at 270. So what's the y-intercept? It's 135 less than. So I'm just switching up. I'm going with D. Okay. If the answer is C, it would have been my first thought. If the answer is D, it's my second thought. All right. Here are two functions. They're both lines. The function h is defined as the addition of the two was the x-coordinate of the x-intercept of the graph of that. Okay, so these functions added together is x plus 12. So where will this cross the x-axis? When x equals negative 12. Not thinking too hard, just going with it to help keep my time down. Going data, average gallon, price per gallon of regular gasoline in the United States. It could be modeled with a function where f of x is the average price after x months from here. The constraint 2.75 in this function estimates which of the following. It's not going to be the y-intercept because of this constant. So I'm weary of that. The average monthly decrease in gallon pricing, no, that doesn't have to deal with the slope. The difference in the average gallon price from there to there. That's not immediately like meaning anything to me. The average price per gallon. Okay. F of x is defined as the average price per gallon x months after September 1st. If so here, remember this is like moving a function to the right 3 spots. I wonder if that means anything to us. This one won't stop me. I'm just going to pick an answer and go forward. It's definitely not A or C. So I think I'm down to a 50-50 shot. Going with D. Because it is true. If I plug in 3 right here, this will all go to 0 and the price will be such. So I'm going with D. Took too long on that one. Oil and gas production in a certain area dropped by 4 million barrels from point A to point B. Assume that oil price decrease at a constant rate, linear function, where the following linear function best describes the model of production T years after 2000. So this is 0, 4, and the other point is 13, 1.9. All right, so let's figure out slope. Slope is 1.9 minus 4 over 13 minus 0, which should equal definitely a negative value. (1.9 minus 4). I get 2.1 on top, or 21 if I multiply both the numerator and denominator by 10. So go with C. F gives the temperature in Fahrenheit, the corresponding temperature in X Kelvin. If temperature increased by 2.1 Kelvin, by how much will the temperature increase in Fahrenheit? All right, so going up by 2.71 Kelvin, the constant has nothing to do with that. It's all about this 9.5. That's going to give us the slope. So for every input, change of input is equal to 2.1. The change in output would equal 2.1 times the slope. So 2.10 times 9 over 5. That's roughly double. So we're going to go with A. Cool. On to the next question. This is question 7 of 10. Table above shows some values of x and their corresponding values fx of a linear function. What's the x-intercept of this graph? Okay. Cool thing about lines, all you need is 2 points. Picking those. When we go 1 to the right, we go down 3. So we have, and I'm going to pick this point, we're going to do y minus 12 equals negative 3x plus 8. All right, so as the x-intercept, y equals 0. So negative 12 equals negative 3x plus 8. Divide both sides by negative 3. 4 equals x plus 8. Subtract 8 from both sides. We get x equals negative 4. So B. This question feels similar to something we did yesterday. Table above gives the typical amount of energy per gram expressed in both food calories and kilojoules and the 3 macronutrients. If the 180 calories in a granola bar come entirely from P grams of protein, F grams of fat, and C grams of carbohydrate, which of the following expresses F in terms of P and C? Okay, so 180 equals fat plus protein plus carbs. Nope. 494. Cool. That's because for every gram of fat, it's 9 calories. All right, so we're trying to get F by itself. 180 minus 4P minus 4C equals 9F. 180 over 9 minus 4 over 9P plus C equals F. And I believe that is 20. Cool. I used some of the answers to see what we need to do. All of them look really similar. The only difference is making sure you got all the signs right. By factoring out that negative sign right there, that became positive. So be careful of that. Next last question. Object hangs from a spring. The formula L is 30 plus 2W relates the length to weight. Which of the following describes the meaning of 2 in this context? That's the slope. So it's 2 centimeters per every Newton. The length in centimeters of the spring with no weight attached. Nope. Weight in newtons of object that will stretch the. Nope. The spring, the increase in weight in newtons of the object will, for each 1 centimeter increase. For every Newton we put in, it'll go up 2 centimeters. Cool. That's pretty much the output. The change in output is equal to the change of input times slope. That's what we're doing here, because slope is equal to change of output over change of input. Lastly, for a function f of 3x equals such, for all values of x, what is the value of f of 6? All right. Let's do some u substitution. Let's call 3x u. Or, this might be the wrong way of going about it. When I plug in (3x) to this, it spits out x minus 6. So what's like a multiplicator, a coefficient that could go there? Well, 1/3 feels right. You know what I'm saying? So 1/3 of 3x is equal to x minus 6. So I believe the function of just f of x is equal to 1/3 x minus 6. So when we plug in 6, we get 3 minus 6. Sorry, nope. We get, that was dumb math. 2 minus 6 or -4. Going with B. Okay, that's the end of that video. I will be checking these answers soon.